Hi, everybody. My name's Emily. I am one of the campaign managers from Birchal. Thank you so much for joining us today for our PuraU webinar. I'd just firstly like to start off with an acknowledgement of country. So I'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we are meeting. I pay my respects to their elders, past and present, and the Aboriginal elders of other communities who may be here today. I'm super excited today to introduce Riva Botha and Vlad Kosovac, the founders of PuraU. Welcome, guys. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having us. Thank you.
Really appreciate it. I'd love it if you guys could give me a little bit of an introduction into yourselves, your background, and how PuraU got to where it is today.
Yeah, so I guess my story. So I'm a small town kid, grew up in South Africa, in Durban. Lived there for 13 years. Then I emigrated to Australia, Brisbane, with my family, and grew up in North Brizzy, and that's where I am now. And yeah, so the story, I guess the story with PuraU and how I met Vlad's kind of interesting. I mean, I met Vlad on the back end of going through a bit of a breakthrough with my acne journey, and how healing my gut actually really helped me, fix that. And I met Vlad at a business seminar in Melbourne, and we linked up. And, stars aligned, we were both in the same position. Vlad at the time left his family business, and yeah, we just connected, and then we decided to start this company. Took a lot of time, a lot of development, especially with regulatory compliance and, trying to come up with a brand that people could really connect with. And yeah, here we are today. We are super, super proud, super pumped. We're really excited what the future holds. And we're really, really excited to do this capital raise and really take things to the next level.
Yeah, I bet. I forgot to mention, everybody, if you have any questions, please pop them in the Q&A box and we will get to those during the webinar. And Vlad, I'd love to hear about your background and where you've come from.
Yeah, awesome. So, hey everyone, nice to meet you all. My name's Vlad. So yeah, similar to as was Riva was saying, yeah, I was in a family business for a couple of years, and in the back end of looking to exit that, I actually met Riva at a business seminar, and we were probably the only kind of young guys in there. So immediately we kind of like clicked, and we just stayed in touch. And yeah, Riva was going through this crazy journey with his acne and having a lot of problems with his skin, and he was trying all these products, and I think that's when we just started talking. And, having, experience in my old business, which was like a nutrition business, I knew that things with, vegan and, organic products and stuff like that is really, really big in Australia. So we kind of got talking about that, and that's, really how PuraU was formed. And yeah, here we are now. And yeah, like Riva said, it's been a crazy journey for us, but, we're super happy.
Yeah, absolutely. So what's brought you guys to do a crowdfunding raise?
Essentially, the main reason is that we want to just go global. We have a plan to launch in the US, Vietnam, and having access to funds, like a large portion of funds, will really help us with our initiatives in the next 12 to 18 months. And another reason we also thought would be a really good idea for us to do a crowdfund is that we can get everyday people, like mums and dads, whoever it is, everyday people on board. And what that sort of creates is a bit of I guess brand ambassadors. So our business model is built on building community and building loyal community members, and for us that's what we're all about. So we weren't interested in going to a big multinational $1 million corporation getting funds where it's only a financial partnership. We were more interested in having people on board who will eventually become brand ambassadors and actually advocate for the brand. And that's another important reason why we decided to do a crowdfund that and take the brand global.
Yeah, fantastic. I think that's always the great element of a crowdfunding raise, is you have that great community behind you who really love the brand and want to see you grow. So that's amazing. What does the next 6 months look like for PuraU?
The next 6 months for us, what we're planning on doing is launching into retail into Vietnam, increasing our marketing spend and creative spend on and creative assets on Facebook, just really honing in on what really works well for the brand in terms of brand awareness, sales, getting into new markets, all that sort of thing. So for the next 6 months, post Birchal, we plan to put feet in the ground in countries like the US, Vietnam, to go into retail, also online, expand our influence network, and just really, really try and focus on the things that are working well for us online, which is, proven to lead to, which is what has proven to lead to our success today.
Yeah, great. And I have seen that you guys have just signed a deal with a distributor in Vietnam, which is very exciting.
Yeah, it's actually really amazing. They actually reached out to us because currently in the Vietnamese market, since 2019, their market has nearly doubled in terms of size for the health and digestive and vitamin space. And they saw an opportunity in us. They love the brand. They love our story. So they contacted us, and we have an agreement with them where they have a trade show coming up in February next year, February 2022. And they purchased a whole bunch of a small amount of stock. It's $10,000 worth of stock, and they have access, and they'll be showcasing that to over 120,000 retailers and wholesalers in Vietnam and just all over Southeast Asia. And for us, the main goal is to only channel this stream just into retail, because one, we can build an awesome relationship with retailers, and two, we won't compete with our own product in Vietnam. So for us, a bit of a win-win. They reached out to us, and the best thing about this is that they reached out to us, so we have the bargaining power. So in terms of negotiation, we're at the stage now where we're negotiating really good margins for us. It's really profitable, and yeah, that's the most exciting thing for us. That's the one of the biggest, I guess, biggest breakthroughs we've had in the past couple of months is signing on one of Vietnamese largest retail distributors, which is awesome. So
yeah. And also just on the back of that, what's also, really, really awesome and exciting about that is the fact that, there's actually no other products in Vietnam like ours. So we're really, like Reva was saying, we're just competing with ourselves over there. So it's kind of like, a whole untapped market that's just waiting to expand.
Yeah.
And I'll just add on as well. Our other director, Patrick, he has over 30 years experience in retail. He's our retail guru. So working alongside Patrick to get into retail through, helping us create robust retail distribution strategies will be really important to us, because we can leverage off his knowledge, his experience, and also networks in Australia. Because, he's been a general manager for companies such as Coles, Woolies, and all that sort of things. So having someone like that to get into our retail, to really build our retail infrastructure, will be paramount to us. So
yeah, that's absolutely huge. So in terms of your raise, how much are you looking to raise, and how are you planning to use that funding to break into international markets, in particular the US?
So we're looking to raise up to $1 million, and we've actually outlined the use of funds in our offer doc, which will be available on the 16th of November. But essentially, the main use of funds will be increasing our marketing spend, putting also nationally in Australia, and also putting aside budget to market in the US, and getting American ad creatives to target to their market, negotiating with, having funds to also negotiate with retailers, giving them stock, paying for freight, all that sort of stuff, trying to get our products to the distributors so that they can distribute our product nationwide in America. So the funds will be allocated for that.
Why did you choose America as a market? What does that mean for you guys?
So the main reason why we chose America, it's actually an amazing opportunity for us, because one, our market size in Australia is compares to the same size as California, which is one state in the whole of the US. So for us, it's a huge opportunity. We saw a huge gap in the market there, considering that one, Americans love Australian made products, and two, they are very educated on the importance of gut health, their vitamins. Americans spend a lot more money on vitamins. There's a lot more research covered in the offer doc. But the market size is the current market size is $38 billion globally, and predicted to increase to $95 billion by 2028. And this is mainly run by the American market, because they're very switched on in terms of health and digestive products. And another reason that is so amazing is that we've actually noticed 8% total website traffic from people in the US who have come to our website, asking, sending us emails, live chat inquiries, asking when will the product become available? How can I get my hands on your product in America? And the amazing thing is that we haven't even marketed in these areas. We have never once marketed there at all. So for us, we know there's a demand there, and we really want to facilitate that.
Yeah, and also just on the back of that, from a marketing point of view, America is much more cheaper in terms of trying to get influencers to promote your product. Australia is really saturated when it comes to trying to get high end influencers to really educate and push people to buy a product. But because America has such a huge variety of them, we were able to get much more at a much cheaper price. So in in the back end of that, get people to see our product in everywhere. So
like what it costs for an influencer here who has a couple mil followers will probably pay $5,000, $6,000, where it's less than half of that in America. And and for us, tapping into a market where they're so switched on in terms of gut health and where they love Australian made products is really a no-brainer for us. So our plan is to on the short term, when we receive our stock from our manufacturer in the next couple of weeks, to send about 200 to 250 units to an American fulfillment center in California. I think it's California, and just soft launch and test the market, get some data back so that when we really hit the market, we have data to actually go off.
Yeah, great. In terms of scientific research into your product, how have you been able to prove the efficacy of it?
Yeah, so essentially for us, when we first developed our brand, we really wanted to create a product that could actually help people. And based off my experience, that's what we really wanted to do. So being listed on the ARTG was a non-negotiable for us. And what it actually means to be listed on the ARTG is that you are permitted, you have specific health claims permitted to you by the TGA, based on the scientific research of the ingredients of your product. And you have to maintain these permitted indications on your socials, on your marketing, on your website. But essentially, it was extremely important to us to be listed on the ARTG because one, we have a product that is not only science backed by research, but it also instills trust in customers knowing that they're taking a product that is being listed as safe for consumption. So,
yeah, absolutely, and understand you've got quite high reviews on your website, so obviously it goes to show that the product does work, which is great, which is what you are really after. And I understand you've got quite a few before and after pictures to kind of prove that too.
Correct.
Awesome.
And another thing as well is that we've actually consulted. So we consulted with a scientist who in their field is an Australian microbiologist. So they came up with that product and they actually designed it. So it hasn't just been Vlad and I, because we have no experience in the medical industry. So we consulted with an actual scientist who is a microbiologist to develop the product, to understand how these ingredients work together and how the product actually works when you ingest it. And for us, that's obviously a non-negotiable because we wanted to maintain quality because that's part of our brand values.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, Vlad, were you going to say something? Did I interrupt you?
No, it's okay. I was going to say that, also in the, as Reba was saying, also the product is, made and manufactured in Australia, which is also something that we're super, that we pride ourselves on, that we've, we've kept it all here. We haven't gone and outsourced to, things like, places like Asia to get the ingredients. Like it's all made and sourced here, which we're, really proud about.
In Brisbane.
Perfect. That's amazing. Do you intend on expanding the product range?
Yes, we do. So currently we have a product already to go, ready, formulated by our microbiologist. It is going to be ready to be released in in February, March, more so probably end of March. It's a product that we've designed that's a follow-on product from the gut program. So what we've noticed a lot of feedback from our customers that when they take our product, because it's only a 20-day product and isn't a product that you can take every day, they'll ask us, so what do I do next? How do I maintain my results? Do I take another product? And for us, obviously, having access to cash will allow us to place that order with a manufacturer, which is a product that is a daily vitamin that people can take every day post cleanse to maintain their results. And that'll be a daily probiotic, which is what you do post doing a gut program like this.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic.
And what we do is, sorry, Emily, we focus primarily on our customer feedback. So we're always iterating our product formulation. We're always looking to improve things in our formula, trying to keep up with industry trends, having a look at what's happening in the market. What do people want? And that's what we do.
Yeah. So this 3-pill method that you have currently, so this has been scientifically backed, or is this just the way that you want to market your product? How do you feel about that?
Yeah, so essentially the product looks at the whole looks at our digestive system as a whole. So, you know, for Vlad and I, you know, in the market, there's just products that are probiotics, which, you know, for us, it doesn't encompass the whole digestive system. You know, taking a probiotic every day, you're missing a couple of steps. So for us, having that 3-step system really covers the intricacy of our gut. And that's what I learned during my research in trying to improve my gut health to fix my acne. When I consulted with healthcare professionals, such as, you know, the scientists and microbiologists to help us develop the product, they actually explained that, you know, there's a couple of steps before taking a probiotic every day. And essentially it just looks at the holistic system of our gut. So
yeah, absolutely. It's not always a one size fits all at the end of the day, and that's why probiotics alone can have a few issues surrounding them. So that's great.
Yeah. And another thing to note is that we've actually upgraded our formula, and our probiotic formula. It's really amazing because we're actually now going to be one of a very few companies in the market that are offering a probiotic that has been clinically trialed on humans. So what that actually means is that they've trialed this probiotic on humans, and they've, you know, received data.
Sorry guys, that was my doorbell.
So we have a probiotic that's, you know, been clinically studied on humans, and for us, it just proves that that's what we want to, you know, we're here to offer a quality product that could really help people. So it's really exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. So in terms of the IP and defensibility of your product, do you expect to see any issues surrounding that?
Not at all, actually. You know, I haven't asked the question of, you know, about how do we deal with copycats and, you know, can people just rip off our product? But my answer is this: it took us about six to 12 months from the whole process of dealing with our microbiologist to develop our product, gather thousands of pages of research evidence, submit to the TGA. They then review your application. They then provide you then pay a fee to list your product on the ARTG record. And so that process in itself is extremely very strenuous. It's very complicated, and it takes a lot of time. And, you know, on the back end of that, manufacturing a product like ours can only be manufactured in Australia. So the TGA approve products so any listed herbal medicines, which is what our product is, can only be made in the Australian shores due to, you know, the TGA approving manufacturers in Australia at that higher standard. So, you know, someone in China, a company in China could definitely rip off our product, but they'd only be able to sell it in China. They cannot sell it in Australia, because you cannot sell a therapeutic product in Australia if it's not made by a TGA approved manufacturer, which usually are all found in Australia.
Yeah, that's a really interesting point.
So yeah, for people who want to copy us, it's just, we will always be 6-12 months, probably that higher end, 12 months ahead of someone who want to copy us.
Yeah. So good luck to them.
Yeah, absolutely fair enough. So in terms of your raise, how do you intend on communicating with investors after your raise is complete?
Yeah, so this is actually outlined in the offer doc. So our plan is to communicate with investors at the end of every quarter in a calendar year. So 4 times a year, our goal is to communicate with you guys, get your feedback, and just understand, you know, what you guys think and all that sort of stuff. And obviously explain our financial position, big things that have happened, updates, all that sort of stuff. So our plan is to do that once every quarter. And that'll be, we're actually building a landing page on our website currently to facilitate that. And yeah, once that's available, it's all outlined in the offer doc. Once that's available, we'll email all our shareholders.
Yeah, amazing. And how important is it for you guys to have the input of your shareholders in the upcoming plans for the company?
I think it's extremely important, you know, because some of our shareholders are CEOs, CFOs of other multi-million-dollar businesses, companies. And just leveraging off everyone's knowledge, and, you know, it's just extremely important to grow. You know, as me, as a leader and as a CEO of this business, I haven't just been one-minded with all the decision making. You know, just leveraging of other people's knowledge and networks really helps grow your infrastructure. So for us, it's extremely important.
Okay, great. And will you be offering investor rewards within your raise?
Yes, definitely. So our investor rewards, it's tiered. It's a five tiered system. So from 100 up to 10 grand,
Right.
and it just in the offer doc it explains, what there's gift cards, lifetime discount codes, all that sort of stuff. It's all like that in the offer doc. I don't know off the top of my head, but we definitely will be offering investor rewards.
Yeah, great. And as you're such a young company at the moment, how long do you envision your growth span to go for before you maybe exit at that stage, or will you like to keep the company to yourselves? What's the plan there?
So our plan is our goal is to exit the company after 5 years, after growing the company internationally and into retail. And yeah, after 5 years, whether that's listing on an IPO or selling it to a competitor, that's our main goal. And take a nice profit and everyone's happy. And at the end of the day, that's essentially our goal. So
Yeah, and it's definitely a win for your investors. So
yeah,
that's
yeah,
a
definitely.
great thing to aspire to, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And in terms of your products, I understand that you take a lot of inspiration from the users of your products. Is there anything else that inspires you guys to grow? Are you looking at other market trends?
Yeah, definitely. I think like we're always looking at market trends. Like what's the next biggest trend that's coming along. Even when it comes to just marketing our own product, it's just looking at trends, looking at what's something that's kicking off right now that we can implement that's going to help take PuraU to the next level. So we're constantly always trying to find new trends, new taglines, new anything.
And then I'll just add on as well. We also work with alongside our microbiologist who helps us with upcoming research, new products, and just new research, all that sort of stuff. And we just encompass that into our growth strategy, just so we can maintain a competitive advantage in the market with our product as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And what's your current valuation, and what is the share price that investors will be able to buy in at?
So we've been independently valued at $6 million. And there will be 1.666 million shares available at a price of 60 cents a share. And in terms of equity, it's looking at 14.3% of equity if we raise $1 million.
Okay, great. And so your current minimum that you might be raising, will that be able to be enough to fund your future plans to expand into other markets?
Most certainly. It'll definitely facilitate our marketing initiatives for the next 12 to 18 months at the absolute minimum. We have outlined a use of funds table in our offer doc, which explains where the funds will be allocated and how long that'll last for.
Yeah, brilliant. I'll see if there's any further questions from the group. Has anybody got any extra questions before we close up today? I think we might be coming to the end, which is awesome. You guys have been really great and really thorough with your explanations and your product and how you intend to grow, which is awesome. So we're really excited to do this raise here. Thank you to everybody for coming along. We really appreciate your time today, and can't wait to see you invest next week when we open up to the public we open up privately on Tuesday, and then we'll be opening up publicly on Thursday.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time, everyone. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much, everyone. And we'll look forward to having you on the team.
And if you've got any further questions, please feel free to reach out to Riva or Vlad. Their contact details can be found on the profile. So thank you so much, everybody, for attending.
Thank you. Bye-bye.